Oh my God, that is huge. Oh, but so ugly. Yet it's my favorite tree in my collection. Let's talk about this cherimoya seedling and what makes it so special. This monstrosity was once a grafted El Bumpo cherimoya, but the graft died and I let the seedling grow out. Well, that seedling takes up about 20 feet horizontal and I don't know, maybe 16 feet tall. And I have, I think, 24 cultivars grafted onto it. And that's what makes it cool, because this particular seedling, I can graft cherimoya, atemoya, ilama, and all these different types of fruit in the Annona family, and they seem to all be staying. I even have here. So let's just go over some of what's on the tree. This seedling that lost its graft El Bumpo scion ended up being one of the best things that's ever come into my life. And the reason that is it is accepting every other graft I could possibly put on it. The 24 different cultivars that I've put on it are also different species. I have grafted ilama, atemoya, cherimoya, and sugar apple all on this bad boy. For example, here is Mr. Min. And you know what? I don't know what to say about this one. I've had it grafted on here for 10 years and it flowers. I have yet to get a fruit on Mr. Min. Compare that with this unknown atemoya, which not only blooms, sorry about that, but also produces more fruit than I know what to do with. And it easily pollinates. If I forget a bloom, no worries, it will pollinate itself. But when I give it extra pollen on its own, then yeah, it goes to town. And it's right next to, this is the fruit from the actual seedling. So the seedling is a cherimoya. I know that for sure. The seedling also gives out some weird, funky flowers. They're just different than your typical cherimoya flower. They are very brittle and easy to break, but they self-pollinate. Going down the line of what is most likely African pride, I have Lisa. And Lisa also blooms and has not produced a fruit, but pretty close. Again, 10 years old, no fruit. I have Thai Lessard sugar apple grafted, and Thai Lessard produces fruit, lots of it, lots and lots and lots of big fruit. One of the most prolific is Honey Heart. I grafted Honey Heart, and man, it has taken over the tree. So I've had to do all the different little sprouts, and I do my labels. So all of those are Honey Heart, just to follow the lineage. Here I have Orton. It is blooming and producing fruit. See, Honey Heart, Orton, there's the graft right there. Let's see, I have Red La Habra late. It's doing well. Hopefully you can see that. I was able to get another El Bumpo scion and I grafted it there. And now El Bumpo right here. I grafted La Habra late on my El Bumpo. So I need to let one of these grow out. That way I'll have El Bumpo again, at least on this one. Although I think I have it somewhere else also. This year I put on Paxton's Prolific and Hillary's White. And look how well they're doing. I actually added a black, like a bread tie to both of these. And those grafts took phenomenally and they are growing out like mad. Here I have a Pierce grafted right there. It broke off, but it's growing back. Sabor. Sabor right there died, but I have another Sabor that's living. Here's a Honey Heart. And then here I grafted a Lisa Pride, and Lisa Pride is doing well. These are the leaves of Lisa Pride. Hope it fruits more prolifically than the regular Lisa. I had always assumed with the name Lisa Pride, it was a mix of African Pride and Lisa, but it's not. Lisa Pride is just Lisa with bigger fruit than normal Lisa. I have Lucida. There's my joint right there. It's doing well. So the point is, oh, I have a special red atemoya. That took hold. So one of the things I love about this tree is it has accepted anything and everything that I had grafted it to. There's McPherson. There's Sweetie. See both of those and they're growing out? This looks like Sweetie. That will be my first ever Sweetie fruit. I have grown out seedlings before that just do not like to be grafted. So not only does this big, ugly tree like to be grafted, but each graft changes the genetic makeup, at least so I read, just a tiny bit, like the tiniest bit. So every time you get another successful graft, you're making it even more genetically diverse than it was before. Now, yeah, I have a lot of white labels on so I can track everything. But again, like I said, with so much going on, I need it or I'm going to lose what's going on. And let's talk about these suckers. Most people don't leave their suckers on because here's the main trunk going at almost a 30-degree angle. So that way I can chop it and keep stuff in check. But the reason I'm keeping suckers is because that one's so leany. I wanted some straight ones. I'm using the suckers. Here's Paxton Prolific. Let's see, which one is this one? This one is Hillary's White. Here's the rootstock. Let me take that off for you guys. Here's Hillary's White. And look how successful they are. Suckers make great graft unions. For almost every sucker that I did a graft, just a simple cleft graft, I was able to get the scion to take. One of the ones I'm most excited about, let's follow this sucker. So in the shorter ones, it got an ilama, a white Central American ilama. There it is. Here's my leaves. That's gorgeous, right? That is very pretty. So excited about that. Sucker, I did Fino de Jet with my little black tie, and I'm having success with that. There are some failures. This Lisa Pride, after living on 2 years, just suddenly decided to die on me. Thank God I did it in another place, and that Lisa Pride is doing okay. But yeah, this one, not so good. Here is Spanish cherimoya. There's my little graft union, and it is growing on top of the Thai lizard that is on the cherimoya. What sucks is I could never show you this entire tree because it is planted in a corner, super hard to see, really funky shape. So when I talk about how much room it takes, yeah, it's in the corner. It's in the back part of my lot that nobody ever sees. So maybe 20 feet. So it goes over here as it branches off, goes up. Here's my 10 by 12 greenhouse, spans the entire width of that, and then also goes further. Let's see if I can get that. And then over there too. It's a little tall, so I also keep chopping it back, at least in height, and I let all the horizontal branches grow because that, yeah, this space doesn't have a lot of things besides this cherimoya, so this is the only thing I'm growing back here. So horizontal, good. It'll keep it under 12 feet for me to go and pollinate all the flowers and get lots of fruit. So that's one of the reasons I'm keeping it short but wide. Do I think it's really cool that you have the seedling cherimoya right next to a African Pride atemoya that's been pollinated with cherylata? Hell yeah, I do. And then also pollinated with a red atemoya? Hell yeah, I do. And then as you go through the tree, you'll just see that may be Mexistania, whatever it's called, where the fruit exhibits different shapes depending on how it has been pollinated. But we're going to have tons of fruit that we're going to have to protect from the rats. We're in the middle of the flower cycle, and I maybe have 10 fruit on this so far. But look how many, like, can I get a shot of this? I am getting lots and lots and lots of fruit to actually take just in the last couple of days. So with cherimoya, if you're growing them in Southern California, you're going to get the majority of your fruit in late winter. I'll see if I can get the list of everything that I grafted on here. When I graft, I usually do multiple grafts. For example, Paxton's prolific there, Paxton over here. And that is so in case I get one failure, like this Paxton did not take. But this Paxton also didn't take. This Paxton not only took, it is growing like a mofo. So out of 3 Paxtons, I lost 2. But this one, wow. This one, yeah, super healthy. The point I would like to make out of this is, at first I was super disappointed that I bought a tree from a big box store and the graft died. Bummer. It was already in the ground. What was I going to do with it? Well, I decided, yeah, it's going to be an experiment, and that's what made this so fun. I can't believe I have 24 cultivars grafted onto this and still going. So as many scions as I can get, I'm going to try, because cherimoya, atemoya, sugar apple, and ilama have all taken on it. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, because think about the crazy hybrids I'm going to be able to create. I have so much genetic diversity on this one tree that I just collect the pollen, and then I cross-pollinate all the other flowers. I'm pretty good at labeling. Some are just going to be mixes of mixes, but I am documenting Lisa, I'm documenting Orton, Charlotta, my pinks, my longiflora, all of those get pollinated onto this tree, and we get wonderful, wonderful fruits, and we're just gonna have to see what they grow out to be. But yeah, it's to get some cool cultivars. I'm hoping for more red fruited varieties, so I'm really focusing on Charlotta on a lot of these that are flowering on this tree, but fingers crossed. Atemoya leaves are pretty small for those people that may not be as familiar, so check that out. That's a typical atemoya leaf size. That's a cherimoya leaf size. That's the seedling. It's going to be about the size of my head. Wonder if I can get one down. Here we go. Atemoya, typical leaf size. Hi, I'm an atemoya leaf. Cherimoya. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's the seedling cherimoya. That's the leaf different size. Ilama is somewhere in between. Ilama is almost the size of the cherimoya. And then you have Sweetie. Sweetie stays pretty small on my tree. So tiny. Quick note, this is Pink's Mammoth that I have, and I have tried grafting on at least 40 cultivars onto Pink's Mammoth, and it has not taken a single graft. It always dies. So that is another reason that seedling cherimoya is so cool, because it accepts everything, and Pink's, for example, accepts nothing. Nothing. How many other species and cultivars can I get on it? I don't know, but let's trade scions and find out. All right, if you have any questions, just hit me up. All right, thanks.